Hello, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to create a pillow cover with a half square triangle design. So let's take a look at the pillow. Okay, all right, I've got two different fabrics here. They're both in blue. They don't necessarily need to be both the same color, but this is a large blue print and this is a solid, a smaller, more solid print. And you can see that there is this triangle across there, but what's neat is as you turn the pillow, you can see one whole side of the pillow is a triangle and then the other side is a triangle. Okay, so this is really easy to make, won't take you hardly any time at all. So let's get started on what you're going to need. All right, you're going to need a pillow form. And you can purchase these in fabric and craft stores. I purchased mine in a discount store and it cost me about $4. Now this is a 16-inch pillow square. Now if you're going to use an existing pillow that you want to cover, that you've already got in your home, you want to make sure you measure that pillow. Okay, so you want to drape your tape measure across the top of the pillow and take one end and put it down on where the side seam is, and then drape it across and see where the tape measurement is on the other side seam. Now make sure you don't press down like this. Just drape it across. Don't squeeze it at all. So take your measurement, whatever your pillow size is, and you want to add 1.5 inches to that pillow size. So since mine is 16, I'm going to make mine 17.5. Okay, so you're going to cut out 2 squares of fabric that is that measurement. So mine are 17.5, both squares. And you want to bring your squares right sides together. Okay, and then line them up. The next thing you want to do is you're going to draw a line from corner across to the opposite corner. Okay, so take a long ruler and line it up all the way down. Okay, line it up towards that other corner. Then either take a pencil or a fabric marker and draw a line. Okay, so now you have a line going corner to corner. Then you want to take the 1/4 inch line on your ruler and lay it on that line you just drew, on that center line. And then draw another line. Then you're going to go on the other side of that center line, line up your 1/4 inch all the way down and draw your third line. So now you have 3 lines. Okay? The center line will be your cutting line, but you don't want to cut it just yet. So go ahead and pin all the way across. Then you're going to stitch on these 2 outer lines. Okay? Now, oftentimes when you're working on the bias, see what happens? This is very stretchy when you're working on the bias. When you start on this raw edge here, sometimes your fabric will bunch up. So what I usually do is I start my stitching here about 1/2 inch, then I do back stitches towards the raw edge and then come forward. And that seems to prevent that from bunching up. Or you can stick some paper underneath there and that will also prevent it from bunching up. So stitch on both sides of that center line all the way across. Then you want to press it with your iron. Now this is not a hot iron. Don't ever press on your cutting mat. Just pretend it's hot. Make sure you press all the way across. Okay, get it nice and smooth and flat. Then take your ruler again. Okay, line it up on that center line, and then with your rotary cutter, go ahead and cut it in half all the way across. Now you have 2 triangle shapes. Okay, here we go. Here's 1/2, and then here is the other half. Now you want to take one of the triangle shapes and turn it over so that the other fabric is now on top. Okay? Then take one side, lift it up, that top piece, and lift it up, and you're going to take your iron, a hot iron, and push against this seam like this all the way across. Okay? What you're doing is you're pushing the seam out and away towards this top piece of fabric. Then take your other piece, turn it here, lift up the top piece, and do the same thing. Lift it up, hold it up like this, and then push against that seam all the way across, okay? Now take your pieces, and bring them right sides together. Now you're going to take this fabric here and bring that same fabric from the other piece, then lay it on top. Okay? So you've got these two like that, and on the other side it's like this. Now you're going to line up your squares and lock this seam in. So you're going to take this seam and line it up against this seam, okay? And push it in there. Now, if it feels nice and flat right there, then you know you've got it locked in. If it feels lumpy and bumpy, it's not locked in. So go ahead and pin it. Pin both corners, okay? Pin the other corner. And then you're going to continue pinning all around 3 sides, except a little bit on the 4th side. So let's focus over here. You're going to start about 2.5 inches or so from this raw edge over here. And you're going to begin your stitching from here, a 1/2 inch seam. Do a few stitches back and forth and stitch towards this corner. Now when you get to the diagonal line here, that diagonal seam, leave your needle down in it. Lift up your presser foot, turn it around so that you can go down this side, okay? And continue sewing all the way around, and when you get to the next corner like this, make sure that needle is right there in that seam before you turn it. Then, when you get around to this last side here, come in about 2.5 inches, do a few stitches back and forth, okay? Now you want to trim your corners. So you're going to do this first cut across like this at a 45-degree angle to this. So with your rotary cutter or a pair of scissors, cut. Then you're going to go over to this raw edge and go at an angle towards that corner, leaving about 1/8 of an inch of fabric here, and do the same little diagonal cut on the other side. What it is you're taking some of that excess fabric out of the way so that you can get your corners in a nice shape when you turn it right side out. Then after you've done all 4 corners, you're going to go to your opening and you're going to fold it over and press it with your iron. Don't skip this step. It's very important. It'll help you later on. Then do the other side also. So you're going to press both sides. Now you're going to reach inside. Let me get some of these pins out. You're going to reach inside and you're going to turn it right side out. So grab a hold of it, turn it right side out. Then you're going to start poking at the corners with your finger, okay? And just keep poking. Let me get my other hand in there. It works better than this one. See how I'm pushing at it? Push as much fabric as you can out. And Then you're going to probably need to take something to help you poke it out more. Now, using something like this, because this is kind of a loose weave fabric, will probably just go right through the fabric. So I would not use something quite this pointed, because like I said, it's a loose weave fabric. Take something like this or the end of a pin, but leave the ink part inside. Don't mark all over your fabric. And just slip inside there and begin poking some more. As you can see, more of the fabric is coming out. Your last step would be, if you're not successful, is to take a straight pin and just begin tugging at the fabric. Don't pull too hard, and begin pushing your fabric out even more. Okay, so clean up all 4 corners. All right, now take your pillow form, and you're going to squish the pillow form in and begin to slip it inside of your pillow cover. Now you're just going to kind of rock it side to side, pulling that cover on. Don't tug on your pillow cover because you might tear your stitches, and you don't want to do that. Once you've got the pillow form all the way in, kind of pull the corners with one hand, push these corners into the corner of the pillow cover. Get it all smoothed out. Then go to that side that's still open. Now, this one's already closed up, but I want to show you how to prepare it to stitch it together. Take either straight pins or a clip like this, okay? Let me get it around here. You can get these in fabric stores. I got mine in a discount store. And just clip that opening close or straight pins all the way across. Then we're going to do a slip stitch to close this up. So let me go over what that slip stitch is. Really easy. You don't need to be an advanced seamstress to do this slip stitch. So use your slip stitch. Take a needle and thread. Put a knot in the end of your thread. Then you're going to go to one end of your opening. And you want to stick your needle in underneath and come up through one of the fold lines, okay? Then come up, pull your thread all the way through, okay, till you can't pull it out anymore. Then you're going to go straight across to the other side. Poke your needle in on that fold line. Go in about 1/8 of an inch. Pull your needle up and thread all the way through. Then from this side, go over to here. Do the same thing. Needle in, pull it up and out. Go across. Same thing. 1/8 of an inch, pull it in and up. And you're just going to keep doing this little kind of almost a zigzag little pattern. And then as you're doing it, you want to pull it snug, and you see what happens, okay? No one can tell you did some stitching there. Then when you get down to the end, just tie it off a little bit, and then you have a really, really cute pillow, okay? I just love this pillow. This was fun to make. Now my next video will be how to take this pillow shape, take this triangle shape and turn it into a pinwheel, a really fun pattern to work with. So to keep informed on all my future videos, click on subscribe down there at the bottom of your YouTube screen. If you're on a PC, there's a word down there. It's in bold letters, subscribe. Click on that. YouTube will prompt you for your email address. You enter that information, and the next time I have a new video, they send you an email. You click on that button inside the email, and it takes you directly to my latest video. I'm Cheryl. I'm really, really glad you came to my sewing room. Now see you next time, and happy sewing.